this is actually the first time that I'm hitting lefty on court with somebody and rallying. Right now I'm hitting obviously righty, but in a little bit I'll get into some lefty backhands. This is the local facility that's close to me, and every now and then one of the pros there will ask me if I want to come out and hit with some of his better juniors, just to kind of have them see a different ball and maybe a heavier ball and get used to maybe playing some bigger players. And then I use it as an excuse to get out there and get some exercise in, and now use it as an excuse to hit lefty. So I try to hit a lot of regular righty because I don't want to miss too many shots. I want to actually give the person I'm hitting with an actual rally and not feel like I'm lagging everybody behind. And it's also a good excuse to show the difference between how I hit righty and how I hit lefty, which is kind of a weird thing to say these days, but I'm getting kind of good enough to where I can actually play tennis lefty, which is a little weird. So we're getting into now the lefty backhand, and at first it was getting the timing right was a little difficult. And then as long as the ball was coming towards me and I didn't have to move too much, I was hitting a pretty decent ball. But as soon as I had to hit something on the run, my footwork was the first thing to go. It's not quite like a right-handed forehand out wide footwork. It's different. I can't tell you why. It's just your setup is different, and the way you move your legs to the ball is different. And it really feels like once I put two hands on the racket on that side, my footwork kind of just immediately leaves my brain, and I'm not too sure what to do with my feet. But after hitting up like 4 or 5 out wide lefty backhands, I started getting the foot pattern down, and then the only thing left was timing my shoulder rotation into the shot, because it almost feels like your left arm is in the way a little bit of your body rotation. Sounds weird, but it's the only way I can describe it. Like, looking at my backhand right now, it still looks a little off. I don't know if it's that my left arm is still fighting a little bit, or that I'm just a little rigid, but something's still the technique still needs a little work, but I'm not complaining, because it's actually come along quite a bit. And I know I'm not in frame right now. I'm still working on the camera configurations and which, I guess, lens or angle is best. I used kind of just a regular, no fisheye, no nothing, because I wanted to see if I could fit everything in, but I'm kind of missing the bottom 2 corners. So I'm going to try the fisheye lens next time and see if that helps. I'm sure it will, but I don't know if it's going to make everything look not palatable to the viewer. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I don't know if it'll be nice to look at a long form video that's filmed in kind of a fisheye. I still have to test that. All right, so now we're getting into some lefty forehands. The lefty forehand was feeling pretty good. I did another video on me hitting on the wall talking about how my shoulder still needs some strength, mostly in the internal rotation part. But as far as hitting today, it kept up. I'm actually kind of impressed with it. I'm more impressed with the lefty forehand returns. We ended up later in this video hitting, my partner over there started hitting some kick serves to me, and those we'll talk about that when the video gets to it. But I can say that the lefty forehands still need a lot more strength to keep up with maybe a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ball rally. It still feels like the equivalent of like skating on ice or having Bambi legs. Because I always feel like the next forehand is just going to absolutely go skyrocketing out. So I working on that consistency and the strength in my tendons to be able to keep up with the repetition of hitting over and over and over again. But I mean, that's just going to come from hitting more tennis and kind of directly training those muscles in the gym. But what I do really want to work on is just like how when I used to teach tennis, I would do a drill, just a simple drill to where I hit. This is mostly for beginners, but feeding one to my students' forehand, one to my back, one to their backhand, and back and forth forehand to backhand, so they get used to changing grip quickly. And I want to do that for myself, but I want to do that to where I'm going back and forth from a righty forehand to a lefty backhand, and then same on the other side. So I get used to changing my grip quickly, because now I really want to adapt my game to where I add lefty shots into it. And I know that sounds weird. And I just think that, you can get good enough to where you can start throwing in specific lefty shots. Like, let's say, like I was talking about earlier, if somebody's kicking the ball to you on that on that ad side, and they're kicking it high to your backhand and you don't have an answer for it, I was hitting those lefty forehands off of his kick, and like the whip that I was getting on the ball and taking him cross court on the returns was pretty addicting. Like, being able to just smack a forehand when someone's just kicking the ball to you feels pretty fucking good, man. Like, we'll get to it. I think I don't know if I messed up the order of the clips, or we're still kind of getting to where he kicks some serves to me. But I kind of want to look over those. Because, I mean, no wonder lefties have such a field day on returning serves on that side. And I know it's the same thing on, for righties on the deuce side. But to be able to do that on the ad side, return a kick serve with a forehand across court, like, it's wild. And I think I threw some lefty one-handed backhands in there too, and I was surprised how good they were doing. Next time I'm going to try to rally more with the lefty one-handed backhand, because I think it can keep up. I think it can keep a rally going for a little bit. At least 2 or 3 shots. I think I can keep a lefty one-handed backhand in. Yeah, I think this is coming up where I hit a couple lefty one-handed backhands. And I surprised myself, too, on them going in. Yeah, like that one. I still have trouble every now and then just launching a ball to the fence. But the backhands were feeling, they were feeling really good towards the end. But like I said, those forehands still feel like I'm skating on ice, and not like the equivalent of like skating on ice compared to wearing cleats on a grass field. It's the only way I can describe the difference between my righty forehand and lefty forehand. But it's getting there. Still kind of keeping that right arm close to my body. I'm still keeping my left elbow close to my body, it's still mimicking like a righty backhand, but without me putting my hand on the racket, my right hand on the racket. There was a one-handed backhand attempt right there. But no, I think I want to play a tournament. My goal is to play and win a tournament. Well, let's first get past the first round, first match, but play a tournament left-handed, and eventually, hopefully, win a tournament. Just a low-level men's open or something, nothing crazy. And then I want to play a tournament where I'm mixing in lefty. Okay, so there's the one-handed backhand that felt really good. Another one too, but that one kind of blasted out. But yeah, I want to adapt my lefty game into, just my game in general. If somebody's hitting a high kick to me on the ad side, I want to be able to hit that lefty forehand. I want to be good enough to hit a decent lefty kick serve. So if there's ever a time where somebody's just really good at returning and I don't have, they're putting pressure on my serve, maybe throw in a few lefty kicks and see how they handle it. Maybe they just can't handle that, and you sneak a couple games out. And I know a lot of people are going to say well, okay, so here's the returning of the lefty forehands, and let's see this one. Yeah, that one felt good. But yeah, what I was saying is I know a lot of people are going to say oh, isn't that going to create bad habits, or isn't that going to mess up your game or whatever? And I honestly don't think so, but I'm not ruling that out yet because I haven't tested it long enough. But I'll be your test dummy.